So hello there, Aleighcia. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to be launching a series of interviews with inspirational women from around Cardiff and the surrounding areas for International Women's Day coming up. How are you feeling about our celebrations? You looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm good. It's a bit different this year because obviously usually I'd be somewhere celebrating it, whether it's a venue or maybe some kind of festival. But it's nice that we still get to celebrate because I think it's a really important day.
Yeah, no, definitely. And there's loads of things going on all on social media today because of social distancing. So check everything out. You've got a team doing throughout lockdown because it's been quite different for her with all the regulations with our shows. So what have you been kind of doing at home? It must be so different for you.
It's definitely different, but I think it's helped me to spend time on skills that I should have brushed up but didn't have time. So like I've been looking at like the business side of things, all the things that come along with the industry that you don't always get time to do. Like even networking has been great, where a lot of other people who aren't usually online where they're so busy are online now. So you get to see a lot more different musicians, whether it's like their live shows, that kind of stuff. And I've been spending time writing and working on my future projects and stuff as well.
Oh, that's really good stuff to hear. Because I think for yourself as well, that I've been following you for a few years now, and you've always worked hard. And I think with the music industry, a lot of people look at it at face value, but so much work goes on in the background, even just for one song to get out there.
Honestly.
So, well done for always pushing yourself as well. Because do you have a small team of people around you to help you?
Yeah, very, very small. So we have me and my manager, and then a couple of other people who might help us out with a few bits and bobs, but predominantly it's just us two. Yeah.
Yeah, wicked. In a way, that's good though, because you can communicate well and you probably work really well under pressure too, because there's so much to do. So sometimes smaller is better. Because you've always got quite a positive mindset yourself as well. Do you think the people you have around you helps towards that a lot?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Definitely, definitely. If it's basically many hands make light work is the words. But again, like you said, it's nice to have a smaller team because you know exactly what everyone's about. And I honestly trust the people I work with my whole life. And that's very important. So that takes the stress away. And then all you have to literally focus on, not all, because there's so many elements to it, is the actual work itself. So I think that's good. It gives me a bit of a creative space to think. So then I don't have to stress like, oh, is this okay? Is that?
Yeah, it is. It's nice having that support as well, because as well as your music, you get involved in the community as much as you can.
Yeah, to
What
try.
are the things you've been kind of doing throughout lockdown and some of the projects you've pushed out with? There's been so many.
So I've been working with the South Wales Jamaica Society, and we've been putting together barrels to send PPE equipment across to Jamaica. So we managed to send 4 barrels, and that was the first time we'd done it. So 4 barrels is like a massive thing. So I was really chuffed with that. So we want to continue with that. We want to be able to send things like sanitary items over to high schools in Jamaica and just help as much as we can, really.
Oh no, it is. It's a really amazing thing you do. You should be really proud of yourself. And they were probably greatly received as well, because I suppose we would have been quite stuck without it. Do you get like pictures and stuff like that as well to see kind of where your work has gone?
Yeah, so they sent us quite a few pictures of the kids opening the barrels and things like that. So that was really nice to see. And it just makes it worth it, you know. So like you see all the stuff that's going across, and everyone was very pleased with what they had in their barrel. So yeah, I just want to be able to. I would love to be able to do and help every single day, but it wasn't easy to put together. I have to be fair, because as much as I've wanted to do something like that for years. So obviously, for those who don't know, I am of Welsh and Jamaican heritage. So I've always wanted to give back to both and worldwide wherever I could. So I feel like obviously where I had a bit of time in lockdown, I thought, no, like now is the time, because I'd known from like family and people in Jamaica the shortage of the PPE equipment, and a lot of schools were saying they're not being opened until the PPE equipment arrives. But there was no way of getting PPE equipment across because of the cost and the tax and all this stuff. So I thought to myself, no, we have to do something about this. So then I contacted Hilary Brown, head of South Wales Jamaica Society, and fair play to Hilary, she knew, because where she'd sent a lot of barrels across before, she just knew where to go and what to do. So yeah, big up to Hilary and to the South Wales Jamaica Society for helping to make it happen.
It's nice when you see people come together, and I think that's something I've learned on lockdown. The more collaborations you do, the more strength is behind the project, and like the further you reach, and the easier it is to get it done. Teamwork definitely makes the dream work sometimes.
Definitely.
with everything else you do as well, have you got like a favourite memory or anything like that you love about your job? Because it's been so long since you've been able to do a show.
Oh, do you know, it's so hard. It feels weird now, the fact that I was a live performer, because I see videos of myself. Like, you've got to think now, it's been almost a year, and I was doing it 4 or 5 times a week, every week for the last 6 years. So a whole year out is like, ooh. And I watch videos now and I think, wow, I actually really used to do that. So it's weird. It's almost, I haven't forgotten because I watch the videos and it triggers the memories. But to find one specific memory, there's loads I've lived. I remember one of my early shows when I was about 7, and I performed. I was as part of a youth club in Riverside Warehouse, and we performed at Cardiff Big Weekend, and I always remember that, and I loved it. And then a few years later, so 2019, I did Glastonbury, which was mad because like I'd never even been to Glastonbury, never mind performing. It's somewhere I've always wanted to go. And then when someone messaged, like my manager messaged me one day, was like, "Hey, we got a booking for Glastonbury." I was like, "We got a what?" So yeah, that was really, really nice. But yeah, there's just so many memories. I'm just thankful I've got to go to so many different places and meet so many different people. But it's been lush, all of it.
Oh, you perform so well. Do you feel like you've got perhaps like a stage persona and then a home persona, and it's almost like something you would put on when you're ready there to do your show and get into the mood of it all?
I don't think purposely, no. I think I am who I am, but I just think probably adrenaline takes over when you do a show, and I feel like I have to deliver a message to the people, you know, and I have to deliver a vibe and make sure everybody has a good time. So I think you kind of just boost yourself up naturally, I guess, when you're performing. But to know me is quite like a calm person, and I guess to see me on the stage is like, oh, but yeah, I guess it's just like where you just get so excited, you just join in with everybody, you know.
Oh no, it's lovely. I love music as well for that pure reason. You can spread the vibe so much. It don't matter what mood someone's in, what they're doing, stick on a good song and they're jamming.
100%.
And for yourself as well as a female performer, do you ever feel a pressure to perhaps represent women or maybe even fight equality sometimes? Or do you just go about, your day-to-day life and just promote yourself as you really?
No, there's definitely a pressure, I would say. I'm very lucky, as in I've heard some horrible stories about women in the industry and people they've worked with and that kind of stuff. I'm very lucky in the fact that I've always worked with good people who I trust, like I mentioned earlier. And I've heard some horrible stories. And also I do definitely feel like as a woman there's pressure because sometimes not necessarily the people I work with, but sometimes in a very male dominated industry, people might think, oh, she's a woman, we can try XYZ, and no. So I always feel like I got to uphold my values and make it known.
Yeah.
In a way.
It is. It's difficult sometimes as well because you can hold so many values close to your chest, but as soon as you're targeted more than once and it's about something you're really passionate about too, it's difficult to always stick to those. So it's really good for your whole career as well. You've always stayed true to who you are,
100%.
and I feel like people know yourself as yourself. Really, you are just you, as you said earlier on. So it pays off in the long run too. You get a reputation almost.
Try. Well, I feel like people can always tell if you're not being yourself, especially in music, because you've got a message to relay. And I always feel like if you're not being yourself, people can read between the lines, you know? So I just think also, whatever you're experiencing, say I'm writing something and I've experienced it, people feel that. And I do feel like people know when it's genuine.
Yeah, no, for sure. I read a really interesting article the other day. You can probably find it on Google, and it was explaining that when someone's performing as well, the same bit of their brain is activated as an audience member. So when people say like you're connected through music, like there's loads of science and stuff behind it as well. It's so cool.
Yeah, it would make sense because it's like therapy for me as well. I suppose for you as a listener too, like you come off stage and you're just like, woo, you just feel so good because you just shared like such a good vibe with everybody. So yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I don't know what the science behind it is, but I would definitely say there is definitely a massive case.
Oh no, it is. It's wicked. It's all that's kept me going through lockdown, really.
100%.
And how about for like future upcoming creatives as well, especially females? Have you got any advice or maybe tips that you wish you knew when you were younger, coming up through your career?
I would definitely say not only to females, but to everybody coming up in the music industry, try and find a bit of knowledge, a bit of background about the business side. So looking at maybe like the law sides and that kind of stuff, and what certain things mean, PPL, PRS, your royalties, those kind of things. They are so important to know, especially in this day and age when everything's online. They're important things to know. And I know there's a lot of online courses at the moment, a lot of free courses. So if you can find them, please check them out, because there's a lot of things that I wish I knew that I know now. And I'm lucky again to work with a team that educate me on those things if I don't know. But if I'd known them earlier, maybe things would have been slightly different. So yeah, definitely check those out. And I feel like as a female in the industry, what we kind of touched on earlier, my biggest advice is be true to yourself, because as long as you're true to yourself, you'll be around people who represent your values and they'll stay. So you don't have to force yourself to work with certain people. If it's not going to happen, it's not meant for you, and that's fine. But what is meant for you will come to you as long as you stay true to yourself.
I do. I think that's such good advice, and it's easy as well to say to yourself. You just do your own thing, really, and the crowd will follow. Never be scared to stand out either. Be you, do you, and the right people will come into your life at the right time.
Definitely.
I think for yourself as well, you've got a new track coming out soon. I'm so excited to hear it.
Yeah, so my track just came out on the 19th of February, and it's called I Want You. It's produced by Kongs, who also is the band leader and drummer for Protege. And obviously when I go back and forth Jamaica, I've watched those guys play all the time, and I knew Kongs was doing production. And I just manifested. I'm like massive on manifestation. I think it's huge. So I'd watched a few of their shows, and in my brain I manifested I'm going to work with them one day. And then I came back from Jamaica, and a couple of weeks later I had an email saying, hey, I've got this song I think you should work on. And I was like, okay, I knew manifestation was real, but what? Because Kongs had seen a few of my videos where I was singing kind of like Studio One style tunes, and he said, I heard that and I knew your vocals would fit on this. So yeah, just naturally happened.
Oh, that's lovely. And where can people find that? Is it like on your usual streaming platforms? You've got Spotify, YouTube?
Yes, it's available everywhere. Aleighcia Scott, I Want You, produced by Kongs. Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, Tidal, all those places.
All right, awesome. So everyone go and check that out. Give Aleighcia a follow as well on Spotify. Is there any other way people can like support you and just keep you going at the moment while your live shows a lot of action?
Yeah, so Bandcamp has a lot of my merch, my CDs, and also digital tracks on there. It's aleighciascott.bandcamp.com. Also follow me on Instagram at Aleighcia Sings, Twitter at Aleighcia Sings, and I've got a Facebook page as well, facebook.com/Aleighcia Sings.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking time out today. I know you're really busy, but it's been so much fun chatting with you and celebrating International Women's Day as well. This is going to be the first interview out of at least 6, I'm hoping. So keep an eye out on the Facebook, Instagram all day long, and click onto them, tune in when you want to. Follow all the other International Women's Day fun, and have a good International Women's Day, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.